much. It's nice to look out here and see such a big turnout, especially on a Wednesday night, and it's been raining out. So you should all really applaud yourself for being here and being active citizens in your community. Before I begin, my name is Tom Taylor, and I'm the mayor of the city of Franklin, but I'm also the chairman of the ICC, and that's the Milwaukee County Intergovernmental Cooperation Council, which is comprised of the 19 municipalities within Milwaukee County, as well as the county executive and the chairman of the county board. And tonight I have with us, we have a number of mayors and presidents. Mayor Knightsky, and I would ask you to please stand. Mayor Bolander from Oak Creek, President Brunner from River Hills, Mayor Tepper from Glendale, Mr. Reich, President of Hales Corners, Scafidi, Alderman, Common Council President from Oak Creek. I see President Johnson is back there. I thought I'd seen from Shorewood. President Hermes is also with us tonight from the beautiful city of Greendale, or village of Greendale. And I point that out because it's pretty unusual to get that many mayors and village presidents on a Wednesday night to travel from, like myself, from Franklin out to Whitefish Bay. Why are we doing that? Because we feel this issue is so important to all of our communities, and that we want to make sure that all of you who are our constituents, which comprise basically the same population as the supervisors of Milwaukee County, that you have the ability of participating and actively participating in the redistricting process. The redistricting process only occurs once every 10 years. So if you don't get your input in today, you may have to hold your input for 10 years. So it's extremely important that we try and get the information out to you. There's going to be a number of speakers. I think Supervisor Sanfilippo is going to talk about other plans that have been offered to the county board. Some not 18 supervisors, but as few as 9, some 15, some 17. And there's also, I think, some lively debate as to job descriptions, roles of county supervisors, pay, all of those different types of things should come into play when you're talking about redistricting. So with that, I just want to go into why the members of the ICC felt so compelled to challenge what's going on, or the tentative agreement for the County Board of Supervisors. And that's that pursuant to the Wisconsin Counties Association's redistricting 2011 redistricting guide, what it says is counties are required to work with municipalities in creating the tentative plan under Chapter 59 of the Wisconsin State Statutes. And it expressly requires the county board to, quotes, solicit suggestions from municipalities concerning the development of an appropriate tentative plan. This allows the municipalities to have input in developing the tentative plan, and to the extent practicable, to have their concerns addressed at early stages in a redistricting process. We do not believe that the county board solicited input from the municipalities and therefore blocked your participation as our constituents. And that's why we are challenging that. We're also looking at challenging whether the open meetings laws for the state of Wisconsin may or may not have been violated. And with that, I want to turn this over to Rob Hankin, who is the president of the Public Policy Forum, and who has done numerous great things as an organization for Milwaukee County. And I've had the privilege of working with Rob in the past, and I can tell you that it's a great privilege for me to be here with him tonight. So I would ask you for a warm welcome for Rob.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction, Tom, and thank you to all of you for being here. Really a very impressive turnout for a very important issue. Also thanks again to the ICC and to the Whitefish Bay Women's Club for hosting this evening's event. My name is Rob Hankin. I'm president of the Public Policy Forum. For those of you who do not know what the Public Policy Forum is, we are a 98-year-old public policy think tank. One of the things that we are best known for is our nonpartisanship and our independence. The forum was created in 1913 as a Bureau of Municipal Efficiency. And really, our mission today continues to be that. We are a government watchdog of sorts. We are also a public policy think tank whose mission is to try to stimulate informed debate not only among elected officials, but also within the general public about critical public policy issues. It is critical for me to point out at the outset that the Public Policy Forum has not taken a position on the County Board's redistricting proposal. There are many different sides to this story, and you will hear quite a few of those sides this evening. In terms of the Public Policy Forum's interest, it is to ensure that whatever plan emerges from county government has received appropriate public input and careful deliberation. And that is why I am particularly pleased to be moderating this evening's event, which is, of course, designed to stimulate that type of public input and deliberation. So before we get started with our panel discussion, I would like to provide some very brief background on County Board redistricting so that everyone in the audience has a basic understanding of both the process and the rationale. After I do that, I'll lay out some brief ground rules for tonight's proceedings, and then we will let our panelists have at it. Redistricting, as Mayor Taylor said, takes place every 10 years after each new U.S. Census. The U.S. Constitution, in fact, requires that a census take place every 10 years, and federal law and the state constitution and state statutes require that the census then be used to reapportion and redraw electoral districts. County redistricting here in Wisconsin is shaped by Section 5910 of the Wisconsin state statutes. That section of the statutes lays out a process that counties must use to redraw their supervisory districts, mainly to reflect population shifts that have occurred during the past 10 years. In addition, at that time, counties have an opportunity to consider increasing or decreasing the size of their county boards during each census-related redistricting process. In terms of the timeline, the statutes say that within 60 days of receiving census data and by no later than July 1st of the year following each census, the county board is to adopt a tentative county supervisory district plan and transmit that plan to its municipal governments. That has already happened here in Milwaukee County as a tentative plan was adopted by the county board in April. After that, the next stage of the process, and the stage that we are in right now, is that municipalities are to take the tentative plan and use it to create or adjust wards within their respective municipalities. After that, within 60 days of the adjustment of wards, the county board must hold a public hearing and then adopt a final plan. Now, if you're wondering what type of guidance the state statutes provide regarding the criteria to be used to conduct redistricting, well, I'm afraid there isn't a lot. However, a couple of statutory provisions are worth noting. One is the stipulation that the county board, and I will quote, shall solicit suggestions from municipalities concerning the development of an appropriate plan. Now, whether the Milwaukee County Board appropriately did so before submitting its tentative plan this year is, as Mayor Taylor alluded, being disputed by the ICC. Again, those members of the county board who supported that plan have a different point of view on that issue. Another stipulation worth noting is that in the tentative plan, the board shall, whenever possible, place whole contiguous municipalities or contiguous parts of the same municipality within the same district. Now, here in Whitefish Bay, the village of Whitefish Bay has been divided in the tentative proposal between two supervisory districts, and that too has generated some concern. Finally, important to note that in addition to being guided by state statutes, redistricting processes also are impacted by a long history of case law. For example, case law has established the principle of one man, one vote, which dictates that members of an elected body be drawn from districts of substantially equal population. Court rulings also have established the principle that electoral districts must be drawn to achieve some measure of fairness in minority composition. Now, how that is to be achieved precisely is subject to some interpretation, but very clearly, certain practices that dilute minority voting strength are prohibited under the law and under case law. So, with that background under our belts, let's talk for a second about the ground rules for tonight's proceedings. We have four panelists, each of whom has been selected by the sponsors of tonight's forum, the ICC and the Whitefish Bay Women's Club. I would note that County Board Chairman Lee Holloway also was invited to attend, but declined to do so. Each of our four panelists first will be given 5 minutes for an opening presentation. The order has been determined alphabetically. There will be no questions or interruptions during the opening presentations. After those opening presentations are completed, I will then moderate a discussion among the panelists by asking several questions. Some of those questions will be directed at specific panelists, while others will be general questions. In either case, all panelists will have the opportunity to respond or not to respond as they see fit. And then finally, after perhaps a half hour to 45 minutes of moderated panel discussion, we will then open up the floor to questions from all of you. So, with that, it is now on with the show. Let me introduce our panelists. First of all, pinch hitting for James Hall from the NAACP is Nathaniel Holton. Mr. Holton is seated next to Mayor Taylor. Nathaniel was born and raised in Milwaukee. He has a BS in Mechanical Engineering and Philosophy from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Also has a Master's of Public Affairs in Urban Policy and Fiscal Administration from Indiana University School of Public and Environmental Affairs. A JD from Indiana University Maurer School of Law. Mr. Holton is a public interest attorney. He volunteers at the Marquette Volunteer Legal Clinic, and he is chairman of the Political Action Committee of the NAACP Milwaukee branch. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nathaniel Holton. Our next panelist is Victor Heike. He is the creator, owner, and editor of El Conquistador Latino newspaper, which has a circulation of 15,000 copies throughout Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, and Kenosha. The paper has received numerous recognitions, including Hispanic Business of the Year in 1999 by the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Wisconsin. Also received the 2001 Certificate of Merit in Excellence in Printing by the Printing Industries of Wisconsin. Mr. Heike is co-founder of the Latino Press Club and served as its vice president from 2006 to 2009. He is also a co-founder of the Latino Community Center and served as its president from 1999 until 2009. Mr. Heike also has served as president of the Citizens for Responsible Government. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Victor Heike. Sitting next to Mr. Heike, and I guess I lied, we're not going by alphabetical order, but that's okay. I guess age before beauty now. Our next panelist is Milwaukee County Supervisor Joe Sanfilippo, who was elected County Board Supervisor for Milwaukee County's 17th District in 2008. He currently chairs the County Board Committee on Personnel. Supervisor Sanfilippo grew up working for his father in the family sod farm business. After graduating from Thomas More High School, he attended Marquette University, then left college early to begin a landscaping business which he sold in 2005 after 19 years. Supervisor Sanfilippo is an active member at Mary Queen of Heaven Parish in West Allis and St. John the Evangelist Parish in Greenfield. He also is a member of the Archdiocese Task Force responsible for the West Allis West Milwaukee Catholic Schools merger and provides volunteer work and financial support for St. Thomas More High School. Ladies and gentlemen, Supervisor Joe Sanfilippo. And last but not least, we have Charles C. Mulcahy, a graduate of Whitefish Bay High School, Marquette University, and Marquette University Law School, and a lifelong resident of the North Shore area. Mr. Mulcahy represented the North Shore communities on the county board from 1964 to 1976. During that time, he served as the chair of the Labor Committee of the National Association of Counties, and he also has served as chair of the Milwaukee County War Memorial Board of Trustees. Mr. Mulcahy practiced law for 43 years and represented multiple local government units. More recently, he served on the Milwaukee County Ethics Study Committee, which developed a new Milwaukee County Code of Ethics adopted by the county board in 2008. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Mulcahy. I think what we'll do is call each of our panelists in the order in which I introduced you up to the microphone so that you can give your opening presentation. You will have up to 5 minutes to do so. My friend Stefan in the second row here is keeping time. I will let you know, panelists, when your 5 minutes has elapsed and then ask you to wrap up. I would note that when we get to the panel discussion, we're going to be a little bit challenged because there are not microphones in front of each of you. So when we get there, we're going to have to talk really loud. But for now, why don't you come on out to the mic, so we'll start with you, Mr. Holton.